New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the New Artist Spotlight Podcast, where we talk to up-and-coming artists about their work. And very, very excited today to meet for the first time Bernice Marsala. How are you doing? Welcome to the pod.
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Yeah. Good to see you in person finally. I've seen many pictures, many videos, listened to many tunes. I'm a fan. So nice
Thank you.
So tell us about yourself in your own words.
Okay, I'm a songwriter. Been a songwriter for forever. I live in the Nashville area of Tennessee. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. Music industry professional. So yeah, that about sums everything up, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there's a lot to ask in that. So music industry professional, is that as in your job is within the music industry?
Yeah, my day job is copyright and music licensing.
Oh, cool. Right. Interesting. And does that feed into your own music in any way, or do you keep them separate?
Obviously the knowledge translates, for, whatever I want to do with my own music, but I do try to keep them separate.
I'd say I noticed that about your videos on YouTube. You've got all the copyright information.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Yeah. So that explains that one.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing here.
I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that stuff. So yeah.
It's cool. That's good then. So you were also quite modest there. You're actually a classically trained guitarist, is that right? And an award-winning songwriter as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I did. When I started learning guitar, I delved into classical, I want to say a couple of years into actually like kind of learning the instrument. And then I did classical guitar all through college and kind of stepped away from it recently just because I've been focusing on my own stuff, but I try to weave it in there when I can, especially with a lot of my earlier songs. Like there's a lot of classical influence in there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that you've got that talent as well. And did you study music and audio production?
Yeah, so I changed my major 3 times, but it was all music related. So it was real easy to transfer credits and stuff like that. So I for a little bit, I was going for audio production for my major. And then it was it's so tedious.
Right, yeah.
And I enjoy doing it, but I wasn't sure I wanted to do it, 10 to 12 hours a day when I wasn't working on my own stuff. So I ended up switching over to music business, and that was what I finished with.
Oh, that's cool. What do you find tedious about it?
I'm not real good with like technology, which is like, 90% of that sort of job. So, my issue was I felt like I spent more time troubleshooting than actually working on things. So I was like, no, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So do you produce your own stuff now, or?
I produce all of my earlier stuff, and I do still do a lot of the production on my newer things. But now I've been, I worked with Charles Connolly from NAS, and I worked with Dustin Saved by Fire from NAS. So it's been kind of nice to get everything that I want to do recorded, produce it to my liking, and then kind of send it off to get a second set of ears on it. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah. I know that feeling. Sometimes you can be too close to it, can't you? And you stop hearing. You can just get so used to the demo versions, don't you? And
yeah,
it goes a bit. Yeah, it's crazy. So who produced Lights Out? Because I love the production on that.
Charles did that one.
Right. Yeah. I might have known. He's just done one for me actually as well. It's not out yet, but it's not even scheduled to be out yet. But it's sounding amazing. Yeah, he's a talented guy. How did you find working with Charles?
I just reached out to him one day and was like, because I think I reached out because I saw that he was on the Sound Better platform. And so I just messaged him through Discord, just asking, how does this work? And we ended up just kind of going through it via Discord. But yeah, so he's real good at kind of grasping what my vision is for it. Kind of without even having to ask. Like I felt like I gave him very few details and he still came back with kind of exactly what I wanted. So that was real impressive.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, he's a talented guy. And you are a very talented artist yourself.
Thank you.
What is your favorite song of your own?
Oh, my favorite song of my own. Probably Burgundy. Just because that was one that it came to me so fast and I wrote it so quickly and I just kind of vibed with it kind of from its inception. And I love everything about that one, like the lyrics and the rhythm. And my husband does drums on that one and he vibed with it right away too. We did it in 2 takes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
great song as
that's
well.
probably my favorite right now.
Is that why you named the album after it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great song as well. I love it. And I like his Lights Out. I'm rubbish with song names, so I've been making notes. But Lights Out actually won Best Pop Song in the World Songwriting Awards, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Yeah, that was how I finished my 2023, was learning that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. How did that come about?
I kind of just kept submitting to them. I've submitted a few things and I've made the top 10 a couple of times with different songs. So I was kind of like, hey, it's only a matter of time. I'm gonna win one of these at some point. So yeah. So that one won. So that was cool.
That's class, yeah. Well done. And I've seen you've been involved in the ISA Awards as well, which I've heard about before. Tell us a bit about that. You got 4 nominations, didn't you?
I got 6 nominations,
6 nominations.
this year. Yeah.
Bad.
Yes. So I went to that last year and that was a lot of fun. And then, so now this year I'm up for 6 nominations again. And so hoping to go in August. So voting starts in April.
Amazing. Where's that? Where did they hold?
Atlanta.
Right. How close is that to you?
Like 4 hours if there's not a lot of traffic.
Right, not too bad then, not too bad. So tell us about Nashville, because it seems to me like a bit of a mystical place, being a foreigner myself. It's something that is talked about a lot in music history and music culture, and it's a place I'd love to visit. So what's it like actually being there and being a musician there?
When my husband and I fell in love with it when we first visited, because it is mystical. It's a magical place if you're a musician, because it's like, the real touristy areas that are all like music venues and bars and stuff like that. That is a fun place to visit if you've never been, just because every door that you go past, there's like a different genre playing, like a different live band. And so you kind of have your pick. But I think like people really think country music when they think Nashville, and there is a lot of country here, but there's a big variety too. So it's just, if you're just a music fan, like not even just an artist, you're gonna have a really good time here.
Yeah, I'll have to visit it at some point. I'd love to. Yeah. Do they have rap there? A lot of rap in Nashville, or I don't know any Nashville rappers, but probably should do.
Yeah, I haven't run into any personally, but I'm sure they're here.
Yeah.
So,
Lurking.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. So you're a busy woman. You're a mother as well. How does that play into your music? And does it? And can we expect any collabs with your daughter in the future? Or?
I did a little collab with my daughter on my Burgundy album. There's a song called Everything, and I wrote that for kind of for her and for my husband, and it's just like a cute song that I wanted to write for the two of them. And I got he's not going to like that I'm telling you this. I got my husband to sing a little background vocal towards the end. And I blended him with mine, so it's super subtle. But he's in there, and then the song ends with my daughter's giggle. So she's got a little feature on that one.
That's amazing. Is she showing any musical aptitude at the moment?
She loves music. But what's funny about her is she doesn't want anybody else to sing. Like she can be she's a little diva. So usually, like if I have to record vocals or something, or if I have to practice, like I have to do it quietly while she's asleep, or she's got to go visit grandma while I'm doing it, because she just gets so mad if somebody else tries to play or sing.
Have you got any pets as well, or?
No.
No, right, yeah, because my cat won't leave me alone. He ignores me all day, and then as soon as I decide I want to record some vocals, he's scratching on the door and meowing. Nuisance. Yeah, at least you don't have that to contend with as well. But who knows? Another question I wanted to ask you is: do you like Marsala wine?
No. Not a fan. Everybody always asks me if I like chicken marsala, and I'm like, no, man, it's like the worst Italian dish.
Yeah, I'm none of that.
Yeah.
But I like a bit of Marsala wine, a bit of tiramisu soaked. It's good stuff. That's what your name reminds me of anyway.
Yeah.
So how long have you been collaborating with your husband then?
Since I want to say 2021, because my first releases in 2020 were things that were already finished, that I had just kind of been sitting on and hadn't, put out yet. So it was when I started doing newer recordings in 2021. So we were already married, living together and all that. And I was kind of like, you're a drummer. Like, why are you not playing for me? So yeah. So we started doing that with my newer recordings, and he's not on everything, just because he's busy himself. So like he didn't do any of the drums on Lights Out, but he's still on most of my songs now.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
good. And yeah, a bit like when I spoke to Synthetic Blonde last week as well, using your partner's skills to enhance your own music is a nice vibe to that, like collaborating with your loved one on your
Yeah.
music. It's cool. What are your favorite parts of the process? Like some people will love recording more than I know you're. Well, I would guess that you're probably a songwriter to the core. Um, yeah, what's your sort of favorite parts of the process?
It might be a tie between the songwriting and the recording, just because the songwriting is like when you're starting this new thing, and if it's one that you're really vibing with, like it gets exciting and it's really fun to try and finish it. And but then the recording can be equally exciting, because that's when I like to do kind of all my arranging. So like if I'm doing I'll lay my guitar down, but then like if I want to add other software instruments and stuff, like that's real exciting to write those parts. So, and I would almost consider that part of the songwriting process. So I guess the songwriting is my favorite.
Yeah, that's cool. So, do you do vocals on the same day as you will do the guitars and all the other parts as well?
Yes. I try to do that now, just because if I can set up one recording day, just because I need a babysitter, it's nice to be able to bang it all out in one session. Um, if I have the luxury, I do like to separate, I'll focus on guitar one day and then I'll focus on vocals a different day. Cause usually if I'm doing vocals, I'm doing my main and then I'm doing all my backing tracks. So that can be kind of a long day.
Yeah, I guess quite wearing on the voice as well, doesn't it? At times.
Mm.
Yeah, because I would only do vocals in one session, I think, rather than doing too much. But I suppose you're adding ad libs and stuff as well with the vocals, aren't you? And yeah, maybe it's my poor technical skills as well. It would be overwhelming to try and do the track and vocals in one day. I'd need a miracle of some kind. So how did you stumble across New Artist Spotlight? I know you've been in quite a while and quite active in the community.
Yeah, well, so I had released a single in 2021, like early 2021. And I noticed a spike in my streams that I was like, well, no one's listening to me. That's weird. And and I saw the playlist it came from, and I got a DM from Ed Eagle, and just kind of telling me about it. And, we added you for a week, and then I didn't really do anything with that for a couple of months. But then I decided I wanted to join because it sounded like a fun community and, good way to meet other artists. I joined while I was like halfway through my maternity leave. So I wasn't making anything. So
You had the
at
time
the
to
time,
as well. Yeah.
yeah,
So you got personally headhunted then.
yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, nice one. I don't remember anyone ever saying that they've been headhunted before.
Yeah, I don't know how he found me. He must have. I think I was on a couple of playlists at that time. Because I I had somebody marketing me. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, so he must have seen me on a playlist. That's my guess.
Right. Yeah, he's found you. He's found you. What do you think of the kind of marketing side of it, of being a musician?
Um, it can be fun. It can also be a little time consuming. I don't love that it takes probably as much time as the actual creation part of it, if not more. The social media content is like the bane of my existence. I don't enjoy that at all. um, but it's a necessary evil, especially in this digital age. So.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think I found it okay for a long time. And then the last few months, I've just been feeling like I can't be bothered to spend the time to post stuff.
Well, just like having to keep up with the algorithm, like you have to constantly you have to feed it like Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna ever sort of go viral or even just get in front of a new audience on social media, you almost have to treat it like a job in itself, don't you? And
Mm-hmm.
and I see a lot of people who are sort of creating content to try and feed the algorithm, but it's a bit obvious. Do you know what I mean? It comes up on your feed and it doesn't feel very authentic. I sometimes think it's just better to just post how you would normally anyway and ignore the algorithm, because then when real people find you, they'll sort of get a sense of who you are anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And I think your social media seems pretty good to me. Like it's quite welcoming and quite sort of like captures your personality, I think.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I struggle with it, so I try to be authentic, but also feed the algorithm as much as I can, without oversaturating. But
it's a nightmare to try and keep track of it all. And yeah, like I say, it's a bit of a necessary evil, which is annoying. Yeah, very annoying. Did you play live at all?
I don't. I used to for a long time before I actually started releasing things on Spotify and everything. But now I kind of just focus on the writing and recording, and that's the fun part for me. So
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Stick to what you enjoy. And what did you do music-wise before 2020? So what's like the story that kind of made you into the artist that was Bernice Marsala?
well, before 2020, I was still writing songs and still recording stuff, but at the time I wasn't releasing anything. So, and I wasn't performing also. So I was kind of not super focused on it. It was just kind of something I was doing as a hobby. And then when I decided I wanted to release stuff because I felt like I can, and, at this point I've worked in the business for some time, so I think I have the wherewithal to do it. And then I collected all these songs that were finished and I put them on my first album. And I released the album on March 1st, 2020. And as you can imagine, a couple of weeks later, lost all momentum because the world ended. So yeah, after that, I kind of just tried to keep, I still had some things that hadn't been on that first album that were ready. So I was trying to keep a fairly consistent release schedule, and just kind of try and stay in the front of everybody's mind. And, then I found New Artist Spotlight. And I think that really helped me take off better than before that. So
Why do you think that was?
well, I mean, it gave me exposure to like all these other artists, first of all, that I think had never, probably wouldn't have found me otherwise. Because, there's so many different genres that everyone, that encompasses New Artist Spotlight. And just the whole like way that that it's run, that allows you to get on Spotify radio and get on like get exposed to all these organic fans and gain that following that you probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. I don't know how I would have ever heard of you or you would have heard of me without New Artist Spotlight. It's amazing how it connects us all, really. Like, and I find it's kind of widened my own music taste as well. It's made me listen to a lot more music that I wouldn't usually listen to.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's great. So we're going to play Lights Out today. And do you want to tell us a little bit about the song? And I can't remember, again, with the song names thing, I can't remember if I'm confusing things, but is this the video where you've got the guy with the fire ring?
No, that was Little Fires.
That was Little Fires. That's the
Yeah.
one, actually. I think I meant to write down Little Fires was my favourite song of yours. I only wrote Lights Out twice. But yeah, Little Fires. Yeah, is that
Similar titles, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I knew it was something to do with light and
Yeah.
is that Little Fires is the yes, I know I'm backpedaling now, but Little Fires is that stock footage, or is that someone you know doing the fire?
No, so the guy on the fire wheel is my cousin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he does that for a living.
Right.
And and I, because I had that song, and with the title, obviously I knew I wanted to do a video, and I just shot him a text and was like, hey, do you want to be part of this? So yeah,
That's awesome.
that was really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool song. And so going back to Lights Out, tell us about that.
So this was a song I did for, it was kind of a Halloween release, but I wanted to keep my lyrics kind of vague enough that, you could enjoy it all year. But it's definitely got kind of like a dark, almost sinister vibe, not quite sinister, but approaching.
A bit spooky.
And
Yeah.
so that's kind of the vibe I was going for with that. And this was a song that is kind of an interesting one of my songs because it was one where I sort of came up with the title first, and then I just thematically wrote from there, but it's not really about anything, which is different from most of my songs. So
Yeah, that's interesting. So would you like to give it the big introduction?
yeah, this is Lights Out by Bernice Marsala.
I can't sleep with all this darkness creeping in, and it's a relief to not have to face it alone again. I need you to stay beside me, 'cause all this turmoil inside me keeps filling my mind with doubt, and it's lonely with the lights out. With the lights out. I can't stay calm with this chill that's in the air. I need you to help me think straight, 'cause I feel like I've sealed my own fate. Am I doomed to wander about? Because it's lonely with the lights out. With the lights out. Lonely with the lights out. With the lights out. Lonely with the lights out. Leave me in the dark, 'cause I've been all alone throughout. This is where we part. Who's gonna hold me when the lights go out? Lonely with the lights out. Lonely with the lights
Thank you for letting us listen to that. Really enjoyed it again. So yeah, that's really interesting what you were saying about kind of it not being written about anything in particular or like a specific subject, because that's something that I've been trying to delve into myself recently, right? Because I've noticed, and someone even told me your songs are too specific. You need to have songs that the listener can kind of relate to them. and I do get what they mean. But I find it difficult to write in that way. Do you? Or
I mean, I kind of try to change it up a little because honestly, like I've had people tell me that too, where like my songs are too specific, but I've also had people tell me my songs are too vague. So I feel like it's one of those things where you can't please everybody. I kind of wrote this one because I like to try and not always pull from like personal experience or like something that I specifically want to write about. I kind of used it as a prompt, and I kind of just said I want to write about this, or I want to write this song for this purpose, and go off of it that way. So it is kind of like an exercise for me. So that was kind of my thought process with that one.
yeah, that's good. That's good discipline for writing, I think, in general as well, sort of setting yourself a challenge to do something specific. How many songs do you reckon you've written in your life?
Well, somebody asked me this a couple of weeks ago, and I said finished songs probably 30 or 40. But like, then I have, the ideas that fizzle out or that I come back to develop later. And of those, we're probably in the 200s, if I had to guess.
Nice. Yeah. And how many finished songs have you got that aren't released?
That aren't released? Maybe 15 to 20. Because there are some that I wrote like when I was like young that are not going to get released because they're terrible, but they are finished songs.
Yeah, that counts.
So.
Because my next question was going to be, why are you holding them back and not releasing them?
Yeah, well, yeah. Some of them have potential, but they need to get reworked, and then some of them are just awful because I was 10, and
Yeah, what I wrote was 10. Yeah, when I was 10 was really, really poor. So you have got one more song coming out though in the next couple of months. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm shooting for May. I still don't have an exact date, but May is my goal for that one.
What's standing in between today and that goal?
I just got to finish it up. So right now it's in the kind of the production and mixing phase, and once that one's finished, then I'll feel comfortable, solidifying the date. Because things happen, and I'm like, I know if I choose a date, something's going to happen, and we're not going to get there. So, and I like to leave myself a lot of time.
Yeah.
And this is going to be my first release with in partnership with big records, and they like to have 2 months in advance.
All right, awesome. Tell us more about
that. So I started with them at the beginning of this year, and they're kind of like a hybrid label. So they do marketing, sync pitching, distribution through Sony Orchard. I don't know if I'm going that route yet. But yeah, so I'm excited to do a release with them.
That's interesting. Yeah. How did you find them, or did they find you? Or
I found them through ISSA. I heard about them because there are other ISSA artists that are with them who I follow them on social media, and so I was seeing the connection on social media, and then I ended up connecting with Mark Rosner, who's the CEO. And I had a meeting with him, and then I got to meet him in person at the award show. So that was really nice. And, we connected again at the end of the year. And so.
Well, that's awesome. And how's it been working with them so far? What sort of point are you at?
It's good. We're still kind of onboarding, and we're doing like, the marketing and the social media strategies. I think it's going to be a little more momentum, like once we're starting to pitch this song, but because we're still in this planning phase. So right. It's very early.
Yeah. Good luck with that though. But that sounds like it's an interesting way of focusing the mind as well, because would you necessarily have written a marketing strategy and stuff like this on your own?
I kind of just wing it. Like with my previous releases, I mean, like I did have a checklist, so I was organized about it, and I had a checklist of everything that I wanted to make sure I did pre-release, day of release, and then post-release, as far as like radio pitching, social media content, and all that stuff. So I would try to schedule my social media stuff ahead of time so that I wasn't constantly on my phone the day that the song came out. Because I don't have time for that. I have a child. So
Yeah, it must be difficult. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I've got the kind of a similar problem at the moment is I can't be bothered. I've got a song coming out March the 1st, and maybe I should be scheduling content and stuff like that. Every time I think about making content for it, I'm just like,
yeah, have you heard of Buffer?
no, what's that?
It's an app that you connect all your social media accounts to it, and then it'll cross post. So you make one post in the Buffer app and connect your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever, and then it'll cross post everything the day that you schedule it. So then you're only making one post. So so plan like 20 minutes out of your day and schedule like 10 posts. And, you know,
If you can schedule 10 posts in 20 minutes, you're doing better than me as well. It takes me about 20 minutes with one post.
well, if it's a reel, it's going to take me like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But if you're talking just a photo, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, but yeah, reels they take up time, don't they? They chew up time. I've started doing captions on them recently, using a thing called CapCut.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should get better engagement. Because I've seen it on other people's and thought that looks cool. So I've started playing around with that, but it's just more time just chewed up on social media and not actually getting to write songs.
Right.
Yeah. But it must be difficult with having a daughter as well, so young. Did you say she's 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, she obviously required a lot of attention. When do you do most of your songwriting? Is it in the evening when she's gone to bed, or is it in the morning before anyone else is up, or is it on the train, or when do you do most of your songwriting?
Yeah, it's usually at her nap time. Look, I'm fortunate that she's a very good napper. She will nap 2.5 to 3 hours a day.
Nice.
So I'll do it during that time, or she's actually napping right now, or I'll do it, at night when she goes to bed.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen a whole lot, just because I get so tired by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I have a job, during the day. So yeah, I mostly try to do it during her nap times.
Yeah, well, I think it's incredible what you've managed to achieve in the short time so far since you kind of kicked off your artist career, especially when juggling so many responsibilities. It's I think you've done really well. So the next part of this podcast, I'm very, very sorry to say, is dastardly. It's evil. It is unforgivable. Do you know what we're about to face?
Is it the Quickfire 5?
I'm afraid it is. I'm afraid it is. Do you know the rules?
I have to answer quickly, right?
If it answers any more than 15 seconds, all your music will be deleted off Spotify, iTunes. You'll be banished to eternity in hell.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and everybody's memory will be erased of you that you ever existed.
Those are some high stakes.
Well, yeah, all you need to do to avoid that is answer in 15 seconds. So question 1 is, if you could see any band that are alive from history, who would you see?
I always would have liked to see the Carpenters. Obviously that can't happen, but
Awesome. No, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Question 2, what is your favorite song of all time?
Oh, you're killing me. I'm gonna get deleted off Spotify. Oh, my favorite song of all time. Right now. Oh crap, this is hard. Right now, okay, favorite song of all time. I Got a Name by Jim Croce.
Just about in there, just about, I think. Question 3, what's your favorite song from New Artist Spotlight?
Oh, right now, my favorite song, that one's easy. Privacy by Paul McCormick.
Nice. Yeah, he's good, that guy. Yeah.
I had that on repeat for like a half hour when I was cleaning one day.
Right. It's very good. Question 4, who is your favourite of Henry VIII's wives?
Oh, I don't know a whole lot about Henry VIII. I'm going to say Anne Boleyn because she's the one I know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And question 5: if you could spend a day with any other artist from New Artist Spotlight, who would you spend the day with?
Paul. Like I want a guitar lesson. Teach me how to shred.
Yeah, I think you did pretty well there. I think you've just about managed to avoid hell.
Deletion. Good.
And deletion, yeah.
I
But
forgot about hell. I was more worried about deletion than hell.
yeah, that says a lot, doesn't it? I think it's the same. I'm already worried about that one. With DistroKid, and they don't let you. I think if you die, they'll just take your music down if you don't pay. Yeah, we might cross that bridge when we come to it anyway. So yeah, it's been really good to meet you today and have this chat. Have you got any final things you want to say, or?
Well, thank you for having me. This was fun. Well, social media, if anyone wants to follow me, Twitter and Instagram are at Bernice Marsala. Facebook is at Bernice Marsala Music. Yeah, Marsala. That's Marsala.
Awesome. And one last question for me is like, what's the dream for you in terms of your whole, what you'd like to achieve in music, and what you'd like to get up to in the future? Have you got any specific things that you'd love to do, or?
I have my unrealistic childhood dream would be if I could do music full time, whether it's being an artist or maybe writing songs for somebody else. I would love to do that all day every day, and that's how I pay the bills. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I like to dream and just try to keep writing more music and hopefully writing better music every time, and maybe one day it'll happen.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Do you do any songwriting for other people, or?
I haven't yet. That is something where I've kind of done that as a prompt, where I'll pick like a celebrity and I'll be like, if I was going to write a song for this person, this is what I would do. But I don't do a whole lot of that because I do get possessive of my songs sometimes. So
Yeah. Well, if you're going to do it full time, you're going to have to give up some of those.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome though. Yeah. So good luck with that, and I look forward to enjoying your songwriting for many years to come. Do you think you will still be an artist in 10 years? You'll have loads and loads of music on Spotify.
I hope so. Yeah.
Maybe the Spotify of the future, whatever that is.
With enough streams that they'll continue to pay me. That's
Yeah, you'll
that's
be
the hope.
Yeah. Tired. They'll have 10x the amount of revenue that we get, and
Yeah.
we'll all be billionaires. Spotify. Or probably not. More likely we'll be getting 10% of what we get now. But yeah, that's another story anyway. Thank you for coming on, and yeah, it has been a pleasure, and I'll let you get back to your daughter or whatever you're going to do with the rest of your day. What are you going to do?
Well, she's still napping, so I might go back to writing.
Yeah, pick one of those guitars off the wall.
Yeah.
Doodling. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well,
thank you again for having me.
It's our pleasure, and thank you to everybody who's been watching, listening, and contributing to New Artist Spotlight. We love you all. Peace out.
New Artist Spotlight.